So you're thinking of moving to the St. George, Utah area. In this video, we're going to talk about the pros of buying a newly built home, and if you stick around until the end, I'll show you some pictures from the parade of homes. Hi, I'm Shari Harris with Fathom Realty. We get phone calls and emails from people all the time looking to move to this area, and sometimes it's a challenge to find what they need. With the lower inventory, there just hasn't been a lot of options. So we now have lots of builders building lots of new subdivisions, and I found that a new build has been a great solution for some of my clients to find exactly what they need. Because we also have homeowners who they're not selling their homes right now because they have that 2 or 3% interest rate, and so it hasn't made sense for them to sell their home and buy something else. They would be sometimes in a smaller home because they need to keep their monthly payment the same, but the higher interest rate. Sometimes it works out fine, but we are seeing some people just holding on to their homes due to those reasons. And so having these new builds is such a blessing. And we are seeing that about a third of the homes being sold across the nation are actually new builds, and different incentives have been into place to kind of encourage the new builds. We've had one where, and I'm not completely sure if there's still money left with this one. It hasn't always made sense to use this, but there was like an incentive if it was a new build under $450,000. There was like money, $20,000, to help first-time home buyers get into a new build. But to be honest, quite often the incentives that the builders have been providing by using one of their preferred lenders has often beat out using that program. And so none of my clients have actually used it. And so that is one of the pros of a new build, is builders sometimes own their own lending company, or they just have a preferred partner, and they have some great incentives where they're buying down the rate, adding some other helping with closing costs or whatever incentives that are helping people to be able to get into those new homes. And they're changing all the time. So I would love, give me a call and we can talk about that and see what the different builders are offering. Another great thing about a new build is everything's new. You don't need to worry when you move into the home about tons of repairs and upgrades. Everything is nice and new. So those early years of home ownership are not going to be filled with a lot of repairs. And there's also that feeling of, that new feeling. And some of my clients talk about how there's no one else's dirt or hair on anything. It's theirs, and they love that feeling. And also being new, depending on what time frame you kind of get in on the build, sometimes you've been able to pick out the carpet or the cabinets, just those finishing touches, as well as we have total custom built where you've picked out the floor plan from the get-go. So just depending on how much control, I guess, you want of everything, depends on where you kind of come in on that process. But it can be fun to really design something that meets your family's needs. And some floor plans will be just perfect. Like, we have a lot of builders who just build the same 12, 14 floor plans. Sometimes they have a little tweak where, office or bedrooms or closets can be moved a little bit, but they work really great for families. So you don't always have to go to that total custom build from the beginning, but that definitely is an option. Also, when you've got a new build, there's the warranty that's provided by the builder, as well as the manufacturer's warranties on all of your appliances and mechanical systems in the home. And so you're not worrying about those repairs. And these newer heating and cooling units, the water heaters, and those things that consume energy are more energy efficient in a new build. So you will often see lower utility costs in a newer home, as well as any new innovations with wraps on the house or windows, or there's just all these things. So definitely energy efficiency is one of the pros. And depending on when you come in the process, also the wiring of the home, you can sometimes tweak that to have outlets or your internet hookup or TVs or whatever exactly where you would want it in the home. And also just the newer builds, I feel like they often have a better feel for the modern world, how we do things, and so they are better at placing those things than versus a 20-year-old home. And I did touch on this, there's the individual choices of making it really your own, those colors and styles with the tiles in the bathroom and the kitchen and your countertops. Just making it fit, you know, your style can be so much fun. It's also nice to not have to be haggling with the seller over repairs. When you walk through the home with the builder, you're kind of making like a punch list of touch-ups with the paint, or if, you know, a faucet isn't quite right, all those things. Like, you're making them a list that they're gonna come back and fix. And so it's nice to just hand them over that list to get it done. Whereas an older home, you have a home inspection, and you get this long list, and you have to decide, like, what things are you willing to take care of yourself? What things do you want to ask the seller for? And sometimes that can be a little complicated, and sometimes they're not willing to fix anything. And so are you willing to take that inspection list and hire people yourself, or do it yourself? And you don't have to really worry about that with a new build. Another thing, often with like the builder warranty, I recommend that my clients usually it's like a 1-year warranty. Go get a home inspection, or just do a really thorough walkthrough of their home just before that 1-year mark, so that they can call the builder back in to get all that stuff repaired and fixed up. Though it's very important to, when you're getting under contract with a builder, to look over all their warranty information so that you understand what's covered and what's not covered. And just get really, really clear on that. Another pro is your home will be completely up to code, because it's got the city inspections, building inspections as it's being built throughout the process. So your home is going to be completely up to code, and so you won't have any of those costs to bring an older home up to code for safety reasons and energy efficiency reasons. Another plus is when you get into a new community, especially if you're kind of towards the beginning, you'll deal with the hassle of new builds and the dirt and wind and noise around you. But when a community is finished, typically all the homes get a spike in the increase of value once it's completed. And so that can be really, really nice bonus to building a new home. And then there's just that overall feeling of having your dream home done the way you want it, fitting your lifestyle and family's needs. It's such a good feeling, that first moment you walk into your new home. My first home that I actually bought was a spec home, so I only picked out the carpet actually, but I really loved that home. And I just remember like walking in and like laying down on the carpet, this fresh new carpet, and being like, this is my home. And it was beautiful and new, and it was such an amazingly good feeling. So it's exciting to have a brand new home. What things do you love about a brand new home? I'm sure there are more things, so leave that in the comments. And then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on my next video, where I'm going to talk about the cons of building a new home. It's not all perfect. All right, let's go check out the pictures from the Parade of Homes and see what's trending now. Thanks for joining me today. I'll talk to you soon.